Welcome to the Notorious DID. This is Valpray. Bonjour. Yesterday, Laura was in the body all day long, and no video was made from Laura. But I'm going to make one today. I'm going to keep it short. But there is a topic that came up that I wish to address. Recently, we had an individual contact us about alien hybrids. I am not going to be negative toward anyone or anything of this sort. Everybody has the right to their beliefs. We would be stupid to believe that there's not something else out there in this universe, especially with the information we have about supposedly the depth of the universes and so on and so forth. However, this party will speak of dissociative identity disorder and possibly parties involved, in other words, the alters, parties involved being alien hybrids rather than alters. Do we know specifically what an alter is generated from, or where an alter comes from, or anything of this sort? No, there are theories. Even those who are professionals can only offer theories. They are no god, they are no other than their profession and their professional opinion based on theories and based on the information that they have. This is what they believe. So, what is D.I.D? If you want to grab a textbook, knock yourself out. We personally are living D.I.D, so to us, it can be many things depending upon who you speak to, which alter you speak to. I personally have a lot of memories, specific memories from my past. I have a lot of memories from a completely different life, a completely different time within that life. I personally believe it is possible that a body can become a way station or a portal or whatever you wish to call it for souls to be housed temporarily, obviously, because the body is only temporary in the first place. I have a distinct memory of dying, what I died from, my family prior, a lot of memories. This is what I'm trying to get at. I have a lot of memories that I would not have other than the fact that I am a soul that went from one body, then died, and obviously was integrated into this system of alters. Now, if we were looking at the DID in this fashion, that would mean that possibly not all of the alters were prior souls, individual souls, and are placed into one spot for a while by the higher powers, God, whomever you wish to say. This idea is probably radical. Let's face it, everything is radical until it can be proven And how would you go about proving this? You can find certain things throughout history, but let's keep in mind there are a lot of persons, especially prior to the internet, prior to social media, there are a lot of persons that existed that don't have much of a trail. Just don't. There are a lot of persons that existed that didn't have a status that would require a trail or would create a trail. And I know from a lot of facts, if I even go to research the body's grandfather, whom passed away in 1980, you cannot find nothing. You would have to dig. And 1980 is still within this lifespan. So you take into account a lifespan prior to this. Take that into account when you're processing this. You go looking for who you were or who you used to be doesn't necessarily mean you were not that person. Because if you did not have studies, you are not in a position to be of importance. And with the records and everything else, you would have to dig to even be able to find yourself, to find who you were prior, to find you and your information. In my case, I was born May 8th, 1927. This I know. No doubt, no question. Taking this into account, I would be soon coming up on my 95th birthday. Someone had mentioned to me, well, what about your friends or people you used to know? At 95 years of age, how many of your friends are already dead? I should say, even more so, how many are actually still alive? Not going to be many. I'm currently in the body in the United States of America. I lived in Catalonia, Spain. These records and files are going to be completely different. You've got to take into context also that I was born in France. And with all of this during the war, World War II, there were a lot of files and information lost due to the war. So would they even really be available at all anymore? Who knows? I have no way, I don't know. My husband died prior to me. If it's hard to find me or information of such, then it would be difficult, definitely, to find him. There are certain things, obviously the Pyrenees Mountains, I know are there. They were there then, they're there now. I could possibly go about finding the information on the farm that we had and all these different specifics. My children, a lot of my children, keep in mind as well, with having been born in 1927, my children started to be born toward the end of the 1940s and the 1950s. This is what you would class as pre-baby boom and baby boomers. And they're older persons whom possibly all could be deceased at this point too. There are a couple of them that were deceased prior to me being deceased. Do I know specifically when I died? Yes. I died in 2012 and I died of cancer. It's a horrible, horrible disease. My heart and soul go to anybody that has cancer, that has encountered cancer. I am thankful to the good Lord above that they are starting to have more access to assisting with preventing or at least shoving the cancer backward so you have more years to live with your family. There's a lot of things that I recall, and there's a lot of things that I could share within that. But this specifically is about the fact that, if anything, I personally, as an alter, I had passed away. My soul is currently in this body with other souls. We are all individuals. This is not like a shattered mirror to me, if you want to use that. Somebody else used the phrasing, which is also very interesting, a jigsaw puzzle. Said some people are using that as a terminology for DID. Being a jigsaw puzzle, because you're individual pieces that fit together and make one piece. This is yes and this is no. That terminology doesn't completely fit for us either, because we are not one piece. We are many pieces and we don't always fit together. Let me just say. But we are here together. Not by choice, not for reasoning, other than what we all individually believe. So you are welcome to your beliefs. You are welcome to, I encourage you to, look into DID, research DID. But when I say this, do not just research textbooks. Research actual people, because this is where you're really going to find information that you can use. Obviously, the textbooks do have some history of DID and other persons, like I had mentioned in my our DID awareness video, that have priorly had it. So when you read what's been written, keep in mind, if it's been written by somebody other than the party who had DID, this may be their perception of what was taking place and not the perception of the actual party. This is what I'm getting at. The perception of the actual party, of each individual alter, that is the perception you need to be researching. This is the perception you need to be understanding, because this is their life. This is their life. This is how they function or do not function. This is the problems they have. This is the problems they don't have. This is reality, and this is the reality of the disorder based on each individual whom has DID. My experience with DID is not the same as the experience or perception the other alters have. Nor, and that's just within this body. So outside of this body, others that have the disorder, or diagnosed or not diagnosed, others that have the disorder, their experience is completely different. This is why I say it's good to have a wide range to draw from if you're interested. It's no different than any other topic or any other, if you want to have a hobby of interest. It's no different than anything else. You would look at different ideas, different perceptions. You can draw your own conclusions because you are your own human. Or, if you're those of us who do have DID, you are multiple humans, with each of them having their own individual perception. I personally, and I think most of us would say, we encourage you to investigate if you're interested. Take in different opinions, different information, and make your own theory about it yourself. Because much like religion and things of this nature, you can know write down, you can approve it, but you do know it's there. Or you may have a perception that it's not. But in which direction, everything is an individual and what you think about it. Now, I respect other people's opinions. I respect other people's views. Do I agree with all of them? Of course, no. And is any thought going to change my belief system? No. And it should not change your belief system unless you find certain things of information that you find and you decide, yeah, but those kind of changed my opinion. And that's just normal. But to the parties that believe because of these different abilities and these different chemistries and different likes, different dislikes, different allergies, the different things that should take place with dissociative identity disorder, I'm not going to tag onto it that it is an alien hybrid disorder. I'm not going to do that because there's all these different, how many aliens would you have in the one vessel? That's my opinion. I stand by it. I do not think anything extraterrestrial has anything to do with us. Supernatural, paranormal, spiritual. There are a lot of other tags that can be used. Tags that we can know definitively prove or disprove. But we live our lives irregardless. We are who we are. We are what we are. And long time after this body, this vessel is gone, we're still going to be that. So are you. Whether you're a singleton or you have D.I.D, which is multiple souls as far as I'm concerned. There is, in my opinion, constant life of some form. If you take into consideration, talk about the extraterrestrial again for a moment. Our souls are energy. This is no more, this body, it may be flesh, blood, bone, what it's made of, but we inhabit it as a host. This body is a host. No matter if it's a host for multiple souls or for one soul, it's still a host. If you take it into that consideration, think about it. This body is a host. Rather you are one soul or you are many souls in one body. We are energy. We are energy that manipulates the brain like a computer. So this right here, this is just the body and chemistry that created it. What is actually talking, what is actually visible, is most likely a globe of light, of electricity, of infinite energy. So this is our own form of extraterrestrial. Because this is not, this is a host. We're hosting this body. Our soul is within this body. But this body is not who we are in general. And that energy possibly is infinite. I don't know. I'm not privy to what the gods above or the higher power, whatever your belief may be. I'm no privy to what they choose to do or have you do from host to host. So there you have it. This is my belief system as to the answer about extraterrestrial hybrid for this disorder. I say no. What I believe it to be, now you know. And now you know a little bit more about my personal background and information. This is a channel that is to assist us as individuals to understand each other and for others out there to understand and be aware of DID, both those who have it and who don't. Thank you for joining us. We welcome you to come back and join our community by subscribing. Welcome you to come. Like, share, so that others can become aware as well. Comment. We listen to all comments. And hit the notification bell so you are one of the first people to know when our videos are posted, so that maybe you can learn either more about our system and or more about DID itself. I'm speaking for the Notorious DID. I am Valpray, and for today I say adios.